Good afternoon. From the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now. I'm Paige Browning with a roundup of today's top stories. It's Thursday, January 29th. Starting with some big legal news that just dropped, a jury has awarded more than $30 million to the father of a teenager who was shot and killed in Seattle's CHOP protest zone. Will James reports from the downtown courthouse.
16-year-old Antonio Mays Jr. was killed in late June 2020. He and another teen were in a stolen Jeep when, witnesses say, CHOP security volunteers opened fire. Over the past several weeks, the trial focused on whether Mays might have survived 8 gunshot wounds, including one to the head, if police and ambulances got him help more quickly. The jury deliberated here for nearly 3 weeks before deciding the city was negligent in its response to the shooting. The case did not tackle broader questions, like whether the city was liable for allowing CHOP to form in the first place and persist for 3 weeks after Seattle police abandoned their East Precinct. A judge ruled those questions couldn't be considered. Mays' shooting remains unsolved. Without any arrests, this trial could stand as the only public airing of the facts of that night. Will James, KUOW News.
Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson has issued a directive today to prohibit federal immigration officers from doing enforcement on city property. That will immediately prevent civil immigration enforcement in city parks, parking lots, garages, and the Seattle Center. Wilson says there's no indication of an imminent surge in federal agents in Seattle, but says preparation is critical given the, quote, chaotic and violent behavior of the federal government. The mayor's directive will also require Seattle police to document and investigate any reports of immigration enforcement activity. Police Chief Sean Barnes, backing up that request in a statement, says the police are here to keep you safe regardless of your immigration status. Today, the U.S. Senate voted to block new funding for the Department of Homeland Security, which included money for ICE. Washington Senators Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell voted no to that funding. Leading up to the vote, Cantwell said Wednesday on the Senate floor that immigration policy may be debatable, but encroaching on civil liberties is not.
The real question is, do you believe in these civil liberties of Americans or not? And when police or power by the federal government is used in an excessive way and it means the loss of life, do you believe in having an authority that investigates that and is transparent with the American people and holds that system accountable?
Every Senate Democrat voted against a motion to advance the funding bill. 8 Republicans joined the no vote as well. And meanwhile, Senator Murray is accusing the U.S. Veterans Affairs Secretary of insulting Alex Preddy, the nurse who was killed by federal agents in Minneapolis. Murray says Secretary Doug Collins and other White House officials lied about the shooting and Preddy's work.
Words cannot describe how outraged I am and how outraged we all should be at the killing of Alex Preddy, who simply did not have to die, and at this administration's rush to spread lies about American citizens whose only crime was peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights.
Murray spoke in a committee on Veterans Affairs yesterday. Trump administration officials have said Preddy had displayed a gun and initially called him a domestic terrorist, but bystander video does not show a gun in his hand. The Department of Homeland Security says 2 officers involved in the shooting have been placed on leave. A bill intended to stop the use of face masks by federal immigration agents is headed to the Washington State House. The mask ban passed the state Senate Wednesday. Tacoma Democrat Yasmin Trudeau says a record 14,000 people signed in to support the legislation.
And for my community, it doesn't matter if they have an accent or what their skin color is or their immigration status. Everyone is afraid.
Republican John Braun opposed the bill. He says a mask ban will not address the root cause of the friction between federal agents and blue states.
We're going to have to calm down and say, is there a way that we can allow our state and local law enforcement to cooperate professionally with federal law enforcement?
California has passed a similar mask ban. The Trump administration has challenged it in court. They say officers need masks for their own safety. The Seattle School District has a new approach for handling reports of immigration enforcement activity near schools.
Similar to like if you hear something, say something so we can do an intake and figure out what's going on and do something about it.
That's Associate Superintendent Rocky Torres Morales speaking at today's school board meeting. The guidance instructs all school employees to alert their principal and security staff if they observe or receive a report of ICE nearby. From there, the principal and the district's safety and security team can decide how to respond. The new policy comes about a week after unconfirmed reports of ICE prompted South Seattle schools to shelter in place. Although district security staff never saw ICE, the incident left school communities on edge. The district has also rolled out a new website with resources for families. Checking out other action in the legislature, 2 bills before Washington state senators would undo recent budget cuts to scholarships for low-income students at private colleges. Ann Dornfeld reports.
Budget cuts last year limited state scholarships for students at private, nonprofit four-year institutions. Starting this fall, they won't be able to receive as much state aid as peers at state schools. Senator Tawana Nobles sponsored a bill to equalize state aid for students at private and public colleges.
We should not be penalizing students based on which eligible institutions they attend.
But state schools are reeling after budget cuts, too.
Unfortunately, there is no bill yet seeking to restore funding cuts to the state's own universities, whose very purpose is to serve the state.
Sam Ligon represents faculty at Eastern Washington University. The bill is now before the Senate Ways and Means Committee. A companion bill in the House awaits a first hearing next week. Ann Dornfeld, KUOW News.
The Washington State Senate narrowly approved a bill this week that would lower the state's DUI limit from 0.08 to 0.05%. The prime sponsor is Snohomish County Democrat John Lovick, a retired state trooper. He says nearly half of all traffic fatalities in Washington last year involved impaired drivers.
Drivers with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.05, 0.06, 0.07 are not good for the community. Impairment starts with the first alcoholic beverage.
Spokane Republican Senator Jeff Holy, himself a retired officer, disagreed. He says many people show no symptoms of impairment with a 0.05 blood alcohol level.
If we want to truly address the DWI problem, a large part, I think we'd both agree on this, a large part of our volume has to do with repeat offenders. I remember arresting people that had 3 or 4 prior DWIs and just hadn't seemed to get around to actually doing time.
Holy argues the state should instead focus on strengthening penalties for repeat offenders, including more jail time. Utah is the only state in the nation with a 0.05 DUI threshold. This was a cool sight. The world's second largest animal was spotted near Deception Pass last week. A group of whale watching guides observed the fin whale on their day off. They say it was the same individual whale that was spotted last September near San Juan Island. Wildlife officials say the endangered population of fin whales is growing off the outer coast of Washington and Oregon, but the animals are rarely seen in Puget Sound. And finally today, a chicken debacle. Issaquah-based Costco is being sued over its popular $5 rotisserie chickens. A Chicago-based consumer class action law firm claims false advertising because Costco markets the chicken as preservative-free, but the company confirms the chickens contain sodium phosphate and carrageenan. Both are considered food preservatives. Costco says it's taking down the references to no preservatives from its website and in-store signs. Next time on Seattle Now, it's Casual Friday. We'll talk about the city's grocery landscape, including what do you do with a big vacated grocery store?
Who's going to move in there besides another grocery store or like a trampoline place, you know? So that'd actually be pretty sick.
Hear that and more tomorrow morning. That's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Andy Hurst, and I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See you tomorrow.